Hi, my name is Yvette Jones and I'm going to be making a traditional Puerto Rican recipe. It's called thick chicken soup and it's fairly simple. It's not an extremely time-consuming recipe, although to make some of the ingredients it will take a little bit of extra time. The first part of the recipe is, of course, the chicken, because you have to have chicken in chicken soup. So I have my 6 pounds of chicken, and first you're going to season your chicken with adobo seasoning. There is a recipe included that has all of the ingredients to make the adobo, or you can just go to the store and buy it, and you can find this at Winco, Save Mart, any place like that. They usually have it. So first we're going to coat our chicken, and with adobo seasoning it's kind of a personal taste. You can either put a little extra or you can just put a little bit, but you want to make sure that you coat both sides. And it doesn't really matter if you coat both sides the exact same amount, just as long as you coat both sides. And before coating your chicken, you want to make sure to cut off any extra fat, because the recipe does call for a certain amount of olive oil, and when you have the olive oil and the extra fat from the chicken, it can get a little oily. I already have my ham cut. You can have your ham in as large or as small of a piece that you want. I prefer small bite sizes so that while you're eating your soup you don't have to cut the ham, but that's just me. And you definitely want to be careful when you put the ham in the skillet, because you don't want any oil splattering back at you. So now we want to brown our ham. I have it on medium, and it doesn't really take very long for the ham to brown. So you just want to stir it around a little bit, just make sure it doesn't get burnt on any one side. And I have my 9 cups of water on the stove on high to get to a boil. And you can either wait for the water to be at a rolling boil before you add the ham and your chicken, or not. And you can use a ham that's mostly cooked, so it'll cut down on the cook time. It still gives it that ham flavor, so you're not really sacrificing anything on flavor if you get ham that's fully cooked or ham that's not. I'm going to go ahead and put in my ham with the oil, because that adds more flavor to it. And if you have a deep pot like this one, it's best to not just dump it in, because then you get backsplash. And now that the ham is in, I'm going to go grab my chicken. And put my chicken in. So now I'm going to put in my 4 tablespoons of sofrito, which looks kind of like this. It has some ice on the top because it's been in the freezer, but you can see the little chunks of the green bell pepper and the cilantro in there, and you can see a little bit of the red bell pepper. And then my 1 can of tomato sauce, my 2 tablespoons achiote seasoning, and it's going to look like that. You want to make sure it's a nice, rich, red-orange color. And then I have my 8 Spanish green olives cut. I prefer to have them cut. Some people like them whole. And then I have my capers in there, which are those little teeny tiny little things at the bottom. So I'll just go ahead and put all of that in. Okay, so everything is in there now except the rice. So you can give it a little stir. And then turn it on high, and then make sure it's on high and cover it and let it simmer for about 30 minutes. And then once that 30 minutes is over, then you'll add your rice. So after 30 minutes, I put my rice in, and once you put your rice in, you let it cook. You reduce the heat and let it cook for another 30 minutes or until the rice is cooked. And this is about what your finished product is going to look like. So we have our olives here, we have our ham over here, and this is what your capers are going to look like once they're cooked. They look a little bit darker, but they're still pretty small. And we have everything in here, and it smells absolutely delicious. So then once it's done, I'm going to serve it in a soup bowl. Sometimes it'll come out a little more watery than this. This one just happened to come out a lot thicker. And then you grab however much chicken you want. If you want a full chicken breast, sometimes you just have to dig down in there to find it. And there it is.